And whoa, I think we are getting started here.
We are off. Oh, well, how about that to start out with?
Yeah, very, very good item to start with. That is the Power Glove, one of the items necessary to get kind of through the first chapter of the game, as I like to call it, the Accessing Dark World portion of the randomizer run, where you need to get basically 3 items. The Power Glove, Moon Pearl, and a hammer or Titan's Mitt to get to the Dark World, which will allow pretty much almost full exploration of the entire map. And we also have a 3 Crystal Light World as well.
Yep, Crystal 6 is going to be Desert. Desert kind of has some interesting requirements to get into it. Sometimes it takes just the book, but there might be some flute block portions of it. It can also take the flute, Titan's Mitt, and Mirror to get into kind of the back end. So very different ways to get into Desert there with that crystal. But it does reduce the chance for a pedestal seed with 3 crystals being in the light world.
Yeah, that is very true. Nothing much to speak of in the Uncle Cave as of right now. So one of the main things our runners are going to be doing, at least in this first part, is they're going to make their basically their trip to Kakariko. Kakariko has a lot of items to get, also Bombos Medallion in the Sanctuary chest. So they're going to be on the lookout for basically sources of rupees and bombs, because with rupees and bombs, you'll be able to clean out Kakariko more efficiently. And it looks like, oh, ajneb's immediately going to the back end of Escape to see what's in there, because he does have some bombs, a bomb to work with.
Yep, that one bomb is helpful, and he knows he's going to have to buy some bombs anyway, so spending the one bomb here, it's an interesting routing decision, and he gets the key, so nothing else, and a bottle. That's going to be helpful. Interesting routing decision. That means JSR2, unless JSR2 finds a bottle, won't be able to get Sick Kid when he does the same sort of Kakariko route. So that's very impressive for Ben there, and could lead to something a little bit later.
I did not know you can find bombs in that rock outside.
Yeah, it's a 50% chance, I think, for a bomb in that. Okay. So sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And not a lot of people even bank on it, because it's just a couple seconds.
That's true. These runners, they want to make sure they have all the time they can use to finish this seed. So I can understand not usually checking that, but still, that's interesting. If you are going to leave house, may as well check that stone, I suppose. It's right there.
So Ben and JSR using the South Kakariko bomb farming method instead of purchasing. Not a bad method, since neither of them have actually found any rupees yet. So
yeah, that's true. They aren't going to have anything to buy bombs at this point. Have a 20, but they still need at least 50 to get some bombs at the shop. And at this point, there is a bombable hut in Kakariko where you can also restore your bombs with no cost whatsoever. So I can imagine that being used as well. JSR looking to go straight north to the well, though. Going to see if he can maybe get some bombs here.
This is kind of a gamble for JSR2. He doesn't have enough rupees for it, but he's hoping he can pick up some bombs or enough rupees to get it. A bit of a gamble here.
And it looks like the Sick Kid item was just a heart container. Not bad, but does not lead to progression. The well seems to be very stocked with rupees right now, though. Up to 400 now.
Yep, they ended up getting a 300 rupee count, so rupees aren't going to be a problem. He's just kind of in the opposite end of Kakariko from where the bomb vendor is, so we'll have to figure out a way to route that in before he goes to Blind's Hut. Might waste a little bit of time there, but it was a gamble worth taking.
Okay, so JSR going to buy some bombs, and he's going to go take his rounds. Going to go to the Kakariko greenhouse, as I like to call it. So we'll see what's in there.
And Ben getting his second bomb and says, nope, I'm done farming. So Ben's going to head up to the well, and meanwhile we'll see JSR2 end up in Blind's Hut. Still, other than the Power Glove, we really haven't seen a whole lot of progression items yet, have we?
No, we have not. That could change in just a moment here, though. Of course, as I say... Oh, okay, there we go. Flute.
Of course. Commenter's curse.
And there are actually some bombs in here too, so yeah, Ben's gonna get a little more bang for his buck, and a lantern.
Now the lantern is important. Normally, you won't be able to do any sort of dark room in Legend of Zelda without that lantern. It would be considered a sequence break. So this tells us a couple things from a knowledge perspective. One, we're expected to be able to navigate dark rooms relatively early. And two, we'll be able to use that as a fire source. Now, both of these two are certainly capable of navigating the dark rooms to sequence break it. But that's some extra knowledge that they have, knowing that maybe they were intended to go past some dark rooms pretty soon. And we do have our Swag Duck National Anthem.
Please stand, flap your wings, and listen to some good music.
Hashtag Neil. All right, so we're going to take a look to see what's exactly up here in the woods area. Probably get a save and quit almost immediately after.
Actually, I don't know if we will. We do have the lamp and the power glove, so we could potentially see a trip to Death Mountain, and there is our first sword inside the Lost Woods.
That's really nice. I mean, sword, just having a sword opens up quite a bit, makes things a lot easier. For example, the mini Moldorm cave ends up being a little bit easier. Doing a full escape route certainly becomes a little bit easier, and that's exactly what we see JSR2. Ben did the first part of escape, but now that JSR2 has the lamp, once he gets that key, he'll be able to just do the back half and do it fairly easily too.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's something you don't normally see, because in order to get the other chest in here, you don't need to spend a key. You can just go the front way and get it, but okay, I guess he's not doing that anyway. But yeah, there is one chest in the back, in the middle of the dark escape section, so at some point may be going there to get that.
And this is the nice thing about Flute so early. Not a lot of time being wasted, being able to run around exactly wherever he wants to go, right down to the dam route with some 50 rupees. We'll see what else is here. I imagine Ben's going to do something similar here, unless he goes escape.
I think he is going escape, just like you said, so we're going to see the items in the front end of it. And
Small
that last
route
chest
divergence. Yeah, small route divergence, but this could be the beginning of kind of a significant route divergence here. If Ben finds something that leads him, say, to the Dark World, meanwhile JSR2 leads is sent over to Desert, or to, if he finds the bow and takes him to Eastern, for example, this could be a significant beginning of a route divergence for our two runners here.
Yeah, for sure. JSR going to be checking the mini Moldorm cave. Ajneb going to be going through the front of escape. Here's a question, though. If Ajneb does find the cape in here, does he gamble on Aga Tower?
You know, that would, I mean, if it were another, I've known some runners that would probably make that gamble. But Ben, I think, is probably one of our more technically proficient runners. Oh, and JSR gets the power glove and the moon pearl. Whoa! That's the right play there for JSR2. So, okay. Yeah, if he makes the gamble, it's the wrong gamble right now for Ben.
Yeah, for sure. After that. I only posed that question, though, because there are sometimes when you look at the items you get in a randomizer, if you start getting items that point to Aga Tower, it's almost a guarantee that you need to do it, given there were a lot of available locations at that point. But still, do you take the hint from the seed and go, well, you know, just in case, this could be a big gamble if this is necessary. It could put me really far ahead if my opponent continues to look. It's, you know, just some food for thought, I guess you could say.
I think it's a worthwhile thought process to have when you're in game one of a best-of-3 series. I think the gambles are traditionally lower, particularly on Ben's side. As I was saying, he's kind of the more technically proficient runner of these two, so he can bank on making up more time on things like the boss fights and those decisions. So doesn't have to worry about gambles right now. Now, I kind of expect JSR2 to make more gambles, but he's made the right routing decisions right now compared to the two. Ajneb is going to be a little bit behind here.
Ooh, Maria inside Spectacle Rock.
That was a mental error by Ben there. He already got the chest and then started moving the blocks to get the chest again. That's, I mean, nothing but a mental error there. Ben lost, 5-10 seconds there.
Okay, so I wonder what JSR2 is going to do next. He does have the opportunity to go into Dark World now. Does he make that choice yet, or does he keep checking some Light World locations?
That's a great question. I think we'll get our answer soon. Looks like he's going to be checking Ice Rod Cave, which is definitely a good check when you have, the flute able to get over here a little bit easier. At the same time, he might be setting up a fake flipper as well.
Yeah, that's true. He does have the Moon Pearl, so he can get a couple more items with that check. So that would not be too far off from the realm of possibility. Oh, he's just going to save and quit.
Oh, interesting. We'll see what he decides to do from this point on. And Ben also fluting away. He's making his run over here to the Ice Rod Cave as well.
Ooh, okay. I kind of like this check right here.
All right, so our pendants are going to be Thieves Town, Swamp Palace with the green pendant, and Turtle Rock. Oh, wow, Turtle Rock with pendant. That's dangerous.
And our other 5-6 crystal combo is an Ice Palace. So I believe that was Desert Palace and Ice Palace for the 2 crystals for the 5 and 6 combo.
Well, Turtle Rock being the pendant, there's so many items that are required to get into Turtle Rock. That eliminates a lot of possibilities for a pedestal seed, although we already have the Titan Smith and we already have the Cane of Samaria, so that's a couple of the major ones right there already.
Yeah, that's right, and one item that we definitely need to finish every seed is the bow, and both dungeons that require bow are not pendants, so that could very well be at the pedestal.
And Ben does pick up the silvers using the fake flipper glitch to get up. He does have plenty of rupees to go ahead and check Zora as well. The fake flipper glitch, any minor glitches are allowed in this no major glitches mode. So Ben's still perfectly legal at this point in time. The fake flippers is a minor glitch that he's doing right now. Meanwhile, we see JSR2 doing the escape route that we've already seen Ben do.
And from Zora, we just get some bombs, so... That has got to be a rough trade, getting 3 bombs for 500 rupees when you can so easily get 10 for 50 elsewhere.
I know, that's... never trust capitalist fish. They will always cheat you.
But yeah, chat making a very good point, because both Swamp and Turtle Rock are pendant dungeons. I mean, that really does limit a lot just in those 2 alone. Like, Flippers can't be there, Hookshot can't be there, Mire can't be there, and then, of course, all the Turtle Rock requirements, too. That does limit a lot, but who knows?
I mean, Turtle Rock also... Hammer is knocked out. Cane, both the fire and ice rods. Ooh. Could the bow be there?
think it is.
Oh, wouldn't that would just be what kind of seed? And JSR2 ended up taking a death. I don't think he ended up getting that Zelda's chest, did he?
I don't think so. Yeah, it seems like that was not a... Yeah, I don't think that was planned.
Oh, that's not good. He's doing the back end now. Ben already done that. Didn't find anything of terrible value there. So he's going over here to Sahasrara. Gonna see what's in Sahasrara's garage sale.
Yeah, no, JSR is just saving and quitting right here. I don't think there was anything major in the back of in Zelda's cell anyway, but yeah, that could be on his mind though if he doesn't get that. Oh, he knows it's the map. Okay, never mind.
Oh, yep. Good call there. So JSR2 now going to check the sick kid. So he had to route the sick kid back in compared to Ben, who was able to route that when he did the rest of Kakariko. So that's just one of the advantages that we saw Ben able to do much earlier in the routing over JSR.
Now Ben is going to be checking Agina's cave. One item in here. It's really, really far out of the way, but if you have flute, it's a lot closer. I tend to actually make this check immediately once I do get flute early on, just because it's very easy to put in, and you can also get the desert check really easily too, the item on the ledge.
And just 5 rupees. It's kind of a gambler's spot, because if there is an item there and you gamble it early, you feel like you're in the lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, JSR2, first one to the Dark World. We have to believe Ben's going to head there soon.
Yeah, he's floating a 3, so that does look like his next move.
Yep, so he's going to be doing the same routing. It'll be interesting. I know a lot of runners, at least in the first part of this tournament, head up to Skullwoods early because it's 2 items and you can usually get it pretty quickly, even without the fire rod to beat the boss. However, it's been kind of less valuable here in this later stages of the tournament. Haven't you seen that?
Yeah, I think that's definitely been the case. I think it kind of involved a slight change that they made in the version 27 logic, where they basically made it so I think you couldn't get like a small key on Montula or something, and maybe the reverse of that. So as a result, they tend not to put as many items in this version in the front half, and if it is, it's not usually anything super important. Although we do get the half magic there, which isn't too bad.
Half magic is nice, particularly in those later stages of the tournament. Meanwhile, he gets keys and is going to be running out. He knows that last treasure chest, in order to prevent him from being key locked, has to be a key. So he's not even going to waste his time with the last one.
But even then, even though in this version of the logic it's not as valuable as it was in 26, I think it's still a very quick check anyway, and every now and then you'll find something in here, so it's not a bad check to make.
Yep, and here's some place that JSR will be able to save a little bit of time because Ben did not get the cane from Spectacle Rock. Meanwhile, JSR did. That's about 10 seconds right there of moving that block around. And just for the map, so he's going to Death Warp.
So yeah, JSR gonna check old Stumpy over here, get the bug catching net for his troubles, probably gonna wrap around and check out the formerly known Hype Cave. In the last tournament, the spring tournament, this location was very, very popular. 5 items you get in here, and usually you found something good in here. And these versions, these current versions of the logic, not so much. Every now and then there might be a cool item in here, but it seems most of the time it's just rupees, capacity upgrades, and all that other stuff that just does not progress the seed.
Yeah, it's definitely lost its title is Hype Cave for sure. It's a little bit difficult, but it's still a high-density location, so you can't afford to miss it. And Master Sword, Bloomerang, 50 rupees, and 20 more rupees.
Well, hey, the upgrade from Fighter Sword to Master Sword is very, very nice to have, so I think there's a little bit of hype in that cave, just from that sword.
We'll give it a C hype.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ben is also running around in the Village of Outcasts now that he's cleared out and done everything he can up in Skull Woods. We'll see JSR2 bringing Jeremiah back home as well. We'll see if our wonderful blacksmith friend has anything to say. Nope.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, but now he is a rupee smith. That is all.
I'm really glad that's caught on. I would be really sad if people stopped using the Jeremiah meme. So we see JSR2 now actually doing the fake flipper glitch that we've already seen Ben do, while Ben is in Thieves Town. Again, Thieves Town is one of the pendants, so he might just be checking the top 4 first before death warping out. But, I mean, there can be some high-value items in the pendant dungeons, particularly in this version of the logic.
Yeah, and Thieves Town is thankfully not super long, so even if he did decide to go all the way and finish it, it wouldn't be too far out of reach, I guess. He does get the cape for his troubles, which is a good safety item to have.
Now, this is getting a little bit dangerous here, because we don't have the hammer and we don't have the flippers yet. And in order to get to the east side of the Dark World, where the Palace of Darkness is, where the catfish is, you need either the hammer, the flippers, or to beat ajneb1. Now, right now, I mean, ajneb is just a time sink. It's a solid 5-6 minutes of just no value whatsoever. But right now, with the Cape Master Sword not finding hammer or flippers, we might still have an ajneb required seed.
That's true. We also don't know what's at that lumberjack tree either. I don't think either runner checked that. Very quickly, thank you, DoffFerret60, for subscribing to the Speed Gaming family. We appreciate your support, and hope you enjoy participating in all these speed gaming activities.
Yes, and I don't want to discourage anyone. I mean, we will try to catch as many subs as we possibly can in this process, but sometimes we're just too hyped about what's going on screen to catch shit. So, no offense to anyone. We still love you all.
Okay, so JSR is going to be checking Sashrala, see what's in here. Could potentially go into Eastern Palace, too. I don't think we've seen anything in Eastern Palace, either.
No, we haven't. We know Ben checked the back right now, but there wasn't necessarily anything here, but did not go into Eastern. So if he does make the Eastern, that could have something for us.
Eastern is one of those locations where, quite literally, almost anything could be in Eastern, because it's a location you can access pretty much from the get-go. There's no items you really need to get into Eastern, and the first few chests are fair game for any items that could potentially begin the seed, so it's not really a bad idea or a bad investment of time to check it out.
Yeah, sometimes you'll hear people refer to those sorts of locations as severe zero locations, and I asked some questions at one point in time, and we had the wonderful programmers in chat to explain it. Sphere Zero locations are those locations that don't require anything other than the shirt on your back to get to. So no swords, no hook shots, no lamps, no nothing. And Eastern does have 3 possible items that you need to get that have locations here. Now, some of them are locked behind the lamp, but it's possible that we could find something that could unlock quite a bit here in Eastern.
That's true. We did find that early lamp too, so that one location is definitely covered by the logic right now.
Oh, I see what you guys did there in chat. Nothing but the shirt on your back and
I just realized that too.
I'm horrible.
Shout outs to chat for just making this an amazing experience throughout the entire tournament as well. Just a lot of good jokes being shared across the entire community.
And if for those people who are joining us and have never experienced Randomizer, what's going on with you? We have probably one of the best communities on the internet. Come join us. We have daily Randomizer runs where everyone's competing, and some are broadcast and commented on. It's just a fun, vibrant community to be a part of, and everyone helps one another. So if you have not joined us, check out our Discord. Please do so. It's one of the best experiences of your life, I promise you.
Yeah, definitely. Very quickly, thank you to Did the Mariners Win, just using a Twitch Prime subscription to support the Speed Gaming family. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And yeah, like you said, the Discord by itself is just a great resource. Everyone's willing to help you if you want to learn Randomizer, learn tricks for Randomizer. Just such a helpful resource. I came into the community like not long before this tournament began, and everyone's just been super helpful and inviting, and it's been a lot of fun being a part of this whole thing.
All right, so Ben's going through Eastern, and I don't think we even found anything in Eastern yet. So we're still twiddling at the next item, and we don't know where that is.
Yeah, that's right. JSR going back to, I'm guessing, the Dark World Village of Outcasts. Might check out Skull Woods, and, you know, there could always be some progression in the back of Thieves Town. Ben only checked the first 4 chests, so there could be something in the back of there.
Hey, Citizen, thank you so much for the subscription there. Shout out to you, sir, or ma'am, or non-gender conforming pronoun. But yeah, I think it feels like, because we really can't get into many other dungeons right now, so, I mean, we could be looking at first part of Pod, maybe, which is still kind of a gamble, or the back half of Thieves, but we're quickly running out of places to go, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, and actually, I don't think we can get to Pod right now. I don't think there's any way to get to Pod at the moment.
Oh, you're right, Pod, yeah. It might be an AGA required seed. It's very rare to see an AGA seed that you don't realize is AGA required this late into a run, so it's a little bit hype right now.
Yeah, a little bit. It is interesting, and again, it's kind of one of these things that one of the things the runners did not do is they did not check the lumberjack tree. So for all we know, I mean, we don't have the boots yet, which means we still can't get to that location. But still, even that will tell us whether or not this is an Aghanim seed or not, or at least at first. And yeah, there's definitely could be progression on that right side of the Dark World. So we literally do not know at this point.
So the question that's got to be playing in the back of okay, I was thinking JSR2 did skip that Zelda chest, but he knows that that's the map, so he can feel comfortable skipping that.
So if anything, it was kind of lucky that he died when he did, because then he didn't have to worry about getting that chest.
This is true. So both of these runners are kind of wondering where is the next item, and I think JSR2 might be heading to Thieves Town, because that seems to be the only logical place left, unless you're doing AGA.
Yep. Like Chad keeps saying, the possibility for AGA keeps going up and up at this point. And yeah, it very well could be in there. That could be our progression just to get to that right side of the Dark World.
And to clarify, because I see someone in chat asking, fake flippers is a minor glitch where if you jump into the water right as you are screen transitioning from one place to another, you actually initiate a glitch where you can swim even though you do not have the flippers. Now, it's risky because if you get hit while you are in the water, I think that's an insta-death right now. It used to be it just locked up the game. So it is a risk, but you can initiate flippers into certain locations for that.
Yes, that is how fake flippering works. Okay, so we're about to find out if JSR is going to continue on with the rest of the Thieves Town expedition, which I think is possible and looks like he is, considering that he doesn't have much left to check. This is literally all I think he has left, aside from, I don't think he checked Agonon's cave yet. I know Ben did, but I don't know if JSR did. I think he just went straight to Mire and then went somewhere else afterwards.
Yeah, I think so. And it looks like Ben's going to be making the same play, so both of them are banking on something being here. Now, if nothing is here, it feels like it's got to be the Aga play.
Someone asking about Spike Cave on Death Mountain. That cannot be accessed just yet. For one, well, no, actually, this is the only reason they can't get in there. They don't have the hammer. There are some pegs right before the spike traps, so they cannot get in there yet. I was going to mention their health, but then I remembered, oh, wait, they have the cape. That would not be the case. But yes, the hammer is required for that.
People are pointing out the purple chest, which you're absolutely right, has not been checked. Man, that would be an out-of-the-way location for the next progression. That would be pretty trolly, I think, at this point in time.
One of the trolliest items you can get from that purple chest is probably the mirror, because a lot of people will kind of opt... Oh, there's the hammer right there.
Oh, JSR2, that gamble is paying off. Ben is going to be right on his tail, though.
Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, the purple chest having mirror can be a huge troll. So a lot of runners will opt not to do those fetch quests unless they have the mirror, just to make them a lot faster and more efficient in checking items. So having the mirror there can kind of put a wrench into the works of how the players want to route this.
Players giving each other a high five in that spike room there, while Ben keeps on climbing up and JSR is climbing down.
So yeah, at this point, I mean, we still don't know what's in Lumberjack Cave yet. So I mean, Aga could still be possible. Like, it may still be required. We don't know yet. But as far as actual, like, getting through and getting to the other side of the Dark World, the entire Dark World is traversable at this point. So they can go anywhere. But if there's an item they need to get through a dungeon, that could still be in the Lumberjack tree.
Be interesting to see. I don't know if we've gotten all the dungeon items. No, so this could be interesting for JSR. That's the last item. Their blind has nothing. And he is saving and quitting.
That is a bit of a gamble right there, because if you come back to this and realize later that you do have to do all the pendant dungeons as well, he does have to go all the way back just to get the maiden. And honestly, for a case like this, it might be a good idea just to take blind to the boss and then leave, just to have blind there at the boss chamber next time you go back in if you have to. But JSR is making the gamble that he can get anything else that he needs without having to finish this dungeon.
Well, I don't necessarily dislike the gamble myself, because if you think about it, you know, when you have Turtle Rock and Swamp Palace, the likelihood of what could be on the pedestal is so low, you think, there's no way I'm going to need it.
Yeah, and that is definitely a very fair point, and I would definitely agree with that as a counterpoint for sure. But so it is a gamble still.
Yeah, Ben's playing it safe, or he's going to go ahead and do it. JSR, meanwhile, half magic, and the cape is going to go ahead and check the spike cave. This could be significant.
Significantly cheap, I guess. But
significant waste of time.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So Ben going ahead and getting his red pendant, which probably won't mean anything, but we don't know yet. We can't say that for sure. Meanwhile, we'll see where he goes next, and JSR2 is going to the Dark World. Looks like he's heading right to Pod.
Yeah, that looks to be his play. Meanwhile, Ben actually checking the hammer pegs over here. Not a bad check, especially after finishing Thieves Town. So if JSR had the mirror, I imagine after mirroring, he probably would have just checked this as well. But since he's save and quit, that does put him a little further away from this. But yeah, hammer pegs could have something right here.
And this might be significant, or it could be a significant waste of time. We'll see. And it is Validation Arrow! The best arrow in the game.
Just find it funny that the two different places that both runners check after getting the hammer, the first location gives either 5 rupees or a validation arrow.
Oh, that feels bad for both these runners. I'm sorry. Now, one interesting thing about Palace of Darkness, and some of our veterans will know this, especially because we've talked about it and hammered it into the ground over this tournament. Back at the start of this tournament, when we were still in version 26, there was certain key logic within Palace of Darkness that really prevented the bow or anything that would lock behind the bow in anything except for the first 3 treasure chests. So it diminished the returns of anything that was in Palace of Darkness unless you had the bow. With the updated logic in version 27 that happened right around the group stages, it really means that going into Palace of Darkness without the bow is much less risky. As long as you can get to it through the keys, you're good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, because of that, there was actually a bug that was discovered with that, where you could potentially key lock yourself out of this. Now, there are ways around this, and I'm sure at this stage in the tournament, both of our runners know the way to get around that possible bug, so that should not really come into play here. But yeah, there's still kind of a fix being worked on that for future versions, so it won't be a concern later on down the line.
So both runners in pod right now. JSR pull an Ether Medallion, and that was the unlock for Misery Mire. Now, you can't get anywhere in Misery Mire because you need either the boots or the hookshot to get past the first room. But that's still nice to know that you're not going to be waiting on it. That's one of our items that could have been on the pedestal.
That's true. So yeah, it is nice to have that just for future sake anyway.
So we'll see JSR2 going into these dark rooms over here. Pod has traditionally had most of the bigger value in the back end of it, as opposed to the front end of Pod, which is usually pretty key heavy. It will be interesting to note there are still 2 treasure chests plus the boss that are going to be locked behind the bow, so we may not get everything that we need here.
Yep, JSR. Gonna go ahead and save and quit and start looking at some other possibilities here.
Yeah, nothing in Pod, so where do we go from here, sir?
Well, there are still a few locations to check. There is the pyramid, so there could be something on there. There is Catfish, which is quite a ways away, but it is still a location as well. JSR needs to check the Agonaz Cave like he's doing right now. And then he'll also need to make his way back around and do the hammer pegs and the purple chest too.
It feels like Catfish might actually have something this time around, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really could. And Ben, saving and couldn't, he does not have a key for that door.
Yeah, Ben was key locked. He used the one key to get to the vanilla big key chest, which only had the compass. So that's good news for Ben because he's wasting less time for a dungeon that doesn't have anything. Maybe he can come back to it once he has all the required items, but we'll see where Ben ends up going now.
Yeah, and even though the Ether Medallion was in Pod, it's kind of at a point where, because of where it is in Pod, they probably expect you to get the bow before this anyway. So as soon as he finds the bow, he'll be able to go back there and immediately get it, no problem. And JSR will have to go back to Pod anyway, so that shouldn't really affect his position too much that he had to leave earlier than what JSR did.
And you'll notice, everyone, there's some very subtle movements that you'll see Ben do when he's walking around. He'll try to walk diagonally as best he can. That's actually, very frame perfect sorts of things that makes him walk a slightly faster than just walking in a straight line, if at all possible. So pay attention to what Ben does. It's pretty much as optimal as you can get for a speed run perspective.
Yeah, Ben, before the randomizer scene became really, really big, he was a big Link to the Past speedrunner in general, so he's definitely used to just optimizations and map movement and all that other kind of stuff that just makes a simple thing like traveling the overworld so much more faster and efficient. And yeah, he is going to check the Catfish now. He did check the pyramid. It was a piece of heart, so nothing that he really needed to progress. So we're going to see. It looks like Catfish might have the item necessary for continuing in the scene.
This would be significant hype, and it looks like JSR2 might be setting up the fake flipper to get to Ice Palace. Wow.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's a very interesting play here. There's the boots! Chat, let me ask you a question. What are those? What are those? I don't know. What are those?
I don't know. So he'll be able to check Bonk Rocks. He'll be able to check King's Tomb. There's a couple of the overworld locations right nearby that he'll be able to check. If it leads to even more progression here, this is bad news for JSR.
Yeah, really. Very quickly, thank you. Oh, there's the bow right there.
There's the bow. Oh, wow.
I think I know where he's going to go after this Bonk Rock check.
Oh, my goodness. It's not over for JSR2 if he finds something of significant value here, but clearly the seed is trying to guide them in a very specific direction.
Yeah, it is. The boots, which seemingly didn't really open that much at this current time, at least for Ben. Just one location had the bow. He'll need that to beat both Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness. He'll get the Ether Medallion inside Palace of Darkness. That'll take him to Mire. And that'll pretty much open Mire at that point, too, because he has the boots to get through that first room. So there are definitely things he can do right now. Lumberjack Tree, just a heart container, so we finally have that check, and that is nothing that he's going to need to beat Aghanim for, so Aghanim is completely off the table now.
For all of you guys hoping for an Aga seed, and that does pretty well kill the pedestal seed as well, because the bow was really the last significant item that could have been on there. So congratulations, everyone. Within the span of like 2 minutes, both Aga hype and pedestal hype died.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other items on there right now that can be possible. Yeah, because flippers are needed for Swamp, so they can't be on there. I mean, they can get the Ice Palace anyway with fake flippering, but yeah. That's not there. Neither of the rods are there. Yeah, sorry, pedestal.
So, yeah, sorry. So it is worth noting that, with Turtle Rock off the table, in terms of it being a pendant, you know, we may never see things like the ice rod. We will have to see the fire rod just because it's required for Skullwoods, but ice rod we may never see. For swamp, because swamp isn't required, hookshot is required to complete the game, but we may not see flipper. Well, we'll see flippers, but we may not see mirror, for example.
Yeah, that's true. Because I don't think. I mean, maybe they do. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't think these are hoverers in the Link to the Past community, but they could be, I suppose.
All right, so we see JSR2 now going to go ahead and beat Ice Palace since he's already here, but he found Ether, which is great, but not really what he was hoping to find, was it?
Yeah, and even then, I mean, the Ether was in Palace of Darkness, not even in here. So, yeah, Ice Palace not really paying off too much here.
No, and JSR didn't quite get the stick into the corner for those three, so it's going to be a little bit complicated here. Blue Mail makes it a little bit easier, but Master Sword makes it more difficult. He's using his magic meter as best he can. This is going to be a much longer fight, I think, than we'll see from Ben.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna opt to use one of his potions here too, just to make sure he can stay alive for the rest of this fight.
And now we'll see Ben taking a look, and there's the fight for JSR. We'll see a rupee. So, but we do have finally. What is this scene? 47 minutes in, and we only just now get our first crystal.
And it was a crystal that was sequence broke to get because they used fake, or JSR used fake flippers to get here. So, yeah, not a lot of crystal activity, but getting those boots, and by extension the Ether Medallion and bow as well, that's going to be Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness, and Mire. So that's 3 crystals right there with just a few item pickups in very short terms. So sometimes randomizers work like that. You may not have any progress for a while, but then you just have a whole bunch of progress at one point.
Yep, JSR has to go back in and do a few more location checks. He did not find all. I think there's 3 item locations in Ice Palace. So without those 3 items, there could still be something. And if you're already committed to it, might as well clear it out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we'll see Ben. Oh my goodness, I just realized that, you know, we're going to get to see the treat of Ben with silver arrows clear out every boss that he might have to fight. I mean, these are going to be fast fights.
Yeah, silver arrows makes a lot of boss fights just end very, very quickly. And yeah, the 3 big ones are just going to be in a row here. Helmasaur, once you get past that first phase, just takes 1 silver arrow to knock him down. For the Armos Knights, 1 single silver arrow for all 6 of the Knights. And then, silver arrows just makes Vitreous like almost a joke. So, yeah, a lot of very, very, very fast fights here.
So we know what JSR really needs to be doing. He needs to head up to check Catfish, which is, again, it's amazing that progress is in Catfish considering it's so rarely happened, but that's the nature of Rando, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No one likes checking those far out of the way locations, and for good reason, because you have to take so much time in the overworld to get to them, but there are many times where that 1 progression item you need is going to be at one of those far off locations, and You know, for as many randomizers as Ben has done, he knows that. In fact, I even, just from hearing from past races he's done, he's always made catfish kind of a priority check for him. So, honestly, no surprise that we saw the catfish there. Gets the red mail from finishing off the Helmosaur King, so he's going to have more defense. He's going to need it, considering he is, you know, kind of shirtless right now in his nature sprite, but yeah.
I was going to say, is that really red mail or is it a red leaf?
Yeah, it looks more like a red leaf than anything.
All right, so JSR checking the last couple treasure chests, hoping to find something to justify this. If not, he's going to feel way behind.
And yeah, ajneb having to save and quit just to flute back, because he does not have the Mire yet, so he cannot just Mire out of Palace of Darkness and go to Eastern Palace. He does have to make the trip back here, which isn't too bad. Eastern's doesn't take too long to get to. Just have to pick up a few stones and climb a few stairs, and it's right here. So, working on crystal number 2 for him.
I will say I'm surprised I didn't see more of the spin speed glitch there from Ben, but you know.
Yeah, I think the problem there though is there's always those stones that are kind of in the way, and doesn't that kind of cancel the spin speed whenever you have to pick one up?
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's right.
Yeah, so spin speed wouldn't have worked there.
And there is a question in chat: where is hookshot required? Hookshot is required. The only place that it is absolutely required is in Ganon's Tower to get across the Trolldorm 2 fight. A treasure chest spawns, and you must hookshot across. Every other location isn't necessarily required for hookshot, but because of that one location, hookshot is absolutely required to beat the game.
Yeah, and it would be required in Swamp Palace, but since Swamp Palace is a pendant, there is a possibility that it will not be required for that, but in this instance, for this seed, the only place it will be absolutely required for is that Ganon's Tower location, as you mentioned, because we have the boots, we don't need it for Mire, and yeah, we don't know if we need further progression in Swamp Palace yet.
And JSR still not doing what he needs to do. Oh my goodness. Maybe he's doing it now.
Yeah, I imagine he is going to the Dark World. I think he's gotten all the other locations around here, so it's probably likely he's going to go north to Pyramid and then Catfish, and then yeah, he'll finally have his Pegasus boots. I almost wonder if he'll go to Mire after that, or he'll actually think about, okay, let me check the logic here that I'm currently working with. I may not need or have the Ether Medallion by logic yet, so maybe I should check those boots locations first.
Yeah, and chats, this is the interesting thing about Randomizer that I know a lot of people discuss, and it's always worth discussing, I think, during a match. You know, a lot of people always want to know who's ahead, who's behind in these sorts of races. In a randomizer race like this, there really is no ahead or behind. Now, I think you and I can both agree that Ben certainly has advantage at this point in time, but we really don't know who's ahead or behind until we hit go mode, which is where we have every item necessary to beat the game. Until we're in go mode, anyone could really, I mean, you're always checking locations. You could have to go to some far out location to get the last items that you need. So trying to figure out who's ahead or behind until we hit that go mode spot really is an effort in futility there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's hard to really call, like, this person is definitely going to win until you're in that go mode position. And yeah, you're right. Ben definitely has an advantage. He got the bow. He was able to get the boots a lot earlier. He's in Mire way before JSR2 is going to be in Mire. So he definitely has, I guess you could say, a semblance of a lead, but that could easily change just by, like, one location that might possibly elude him, but we won't know that until a little bit from here. So it's hard to make that official call one way or the other.
All right, so Ben is in Misery Mire. There's only 2 items in Misery Mire. It's kind of a low impact site, but it is a crystal. It is required. So definitely worth doing while you still have. One of those 2 items could be our next progression.
We do find the Quake Medallion in Misery Mire, and this was something I saw earlier in chat, is the idea of doing pendant dungeons. In this version of the logic, I think doing pendant dungeons is a good idea just to check for items, because dungeons have, in this version of the logic, a really good chance of having progression, even pendant dungeons. So even if you won't necessarily have to complete them to beat the game, there could still be something in there, so there is definitely value to checking pendant dungeons. So the Quake Medallion, which we just got, that could be the progression into Turtle Rock once we get access up there. And when they're up there in Death Mountain, that could be a potential check where the Go mode item they need could even be in there.
Oh, and we see JSR in Misery Mire. He went straight to it. Now, this is going to be a problem for him here in a little bit because he did not end up checking Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb, which had the bow. Ben is going to have the easiest Vitreous fight you can imagine between Silver Arrows and the bow, but without the bow, that's going to double, if not triple, the time of Vitreous for the fight for JSR. That's going to be difficult there.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a much longer fight. And like I said, Silver Arrows will knock out all of the eyeballs in one hit, and then the big eyeball only takes 2 hits with Silver Arrows. JSR, too, is only going to have sword and bombs at his disposal. He does have the cape, so he can get in there and get spin slashes in very, very easily. But yeah, it'll be a much longer fight for sure.
All right, so Ben going back and he's going to check the last couple treasure chest locations. This one treasure chest up here, plus the big treasure chest. Finding all the keys. Doesn't really need many more keys.
Yeah, Misery Mire is interesting, and you actually kind of learn this if you play a lot of Key Sanity Seeds. You actually don't need to find any key treasure chests in Mire to actually get through here, because there are enough keys you can find in pots just to make your way through this dungeon. So yeah, finding the keys here, really kind of more of a luxury, because as Ben displayed right there, he's able to open that door and get to that one chest a lot quicker. But yeah, you don't really actually need to find any keys and treasure chests in here.
All right, so Ben is going to head to Vitreous. It does look like that Vit will have the last treasure for Misery Mire, which is definitely a... I don't know. I mean, it made a full clear of required here for both these runners, which plays into Ben's strengths at this point in time. If there was both items pretty quick and you could skip things quickly, that might help JSR2 a little bit, but Ben having to go through the whole thing, every little technical detail and routing decision like that plays to Ben's strengths there. Chat's trying to get me to go assume my position. My name is Vitasia, not Vitreous, guys. I know I know VIT is not very common, but I get it. I get it.
Okay then. Okay, so just watch this fight right here. Even after it's taking a hit right there, it's still just... This is so much faster than what JSR is going to have to do.
And Fire Rod for our progression. Wow.
It is kind of funny the way they are getting progression here, though, because the east side of Death Mountain is still not accessible. We still need a mirror or the hook shot to even get over to that side of Death Mountain. So they're literally just giving you, like, one item after another just to potentially get, like, hook shot as a go mode item. That could be what we're seeing here.
We're not quite there for hookshot for go mode. We still don't have a way into Desert Palace, which is a crystal as well.
Oh,
so.
That is true. Yeah, that is very true.
And Ice Palace, technically, I mean, we can get there. And I think if you were waiting for flippers for go mode, they'd go ahead and fake flipper, but...
Yeah. Honestly, this could be a case where flippers could be in Turtle Rock, so they may not even, if they don't have flippers left at the end of this, they may just opt to, well, we don't need them, let's just treat this like go mode anyway.
That would be fair. JSR using spin strats, getting through, most of his magic gauge is gone, but it's still going to take him a while to get through this particular portion of the fight, because it's a lot of hits for him.
Yeah, actually switching off to the hammer right here. The hammer does tempered sword damage, which is the level 3 sword that you get in this game. So if you use the hammer, it's basically the same as using the tempered sword on Vitreous, so it's probably a little faster than the Master Sword.
And I need to correct myself. I said spin strats, it's stash strats. My fault. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, chat.
Either way, you're using your sword on the eyeballs, using the cape in some form to make it faster.
That was a relatively quick Vitreous fight for having what he had, so kudos to JSR. He did not lose as much time as we feared there.
And another interesting thing about what he did is I believe he actually gambled on Vitreous as soon as he got the big key, so he did not have to go and check that big chest.
Alright, so Ben is on his Mothula fight, dancing around quite a few of the spikes. Interesting here. JSR, is he? Oh, he's... Okay, Bonk Rocks. Will he do King's Tomb?
I hope he does. He's going to check Lumberjack Tree first, but...
Oh, no! No, JSR! Oh.
But man, if I was a kid watching Ben fight that Mothula fight, I would have been so jealous, and I would have thought he's the best Legend of Zelda player in the world, because I hated Mothula as a kid. It was such a hard fight for me, and then Ben just going in there, not even making it look like a big deal. Doesn't even have a second row of hearts, just did it no problem.
Yeah, I still struggle sometimes with Mothula if I'm not in that right mindset. JSR! No, JSR!
Oh no, he still has not gone back to King's Tomb. He's going to go straight for Mothula as well.
Alright, so Ben not finding the last item yet, but the big key, so he couldn't save and quit out. He has to take his time here a little bit, but he will check to see the last item is in the big treasure chest.
Yeah, Skullwoods being one of the dungeons where you actually don't need the big key to finish the dungeon. Both Skullwoods and Swamp Palace, the big key only opens up the big chest. You also technically don't need the big key for Ice Palace. You can do the bomb jump and you can skip the big key door that's in that dungeon. But yeah, oh, and there we go. There's the mirror.
Mirror, okay. That gives us access to Tower of Hera. That gives us at least entry into Swamp Palace. Oh my goodness. Which direction would you go, Slim?
At this point, I see that Desert Palace is a crystal. I say go ahead and take care of that first. They still need to draw out that hook shot to finish this particular seed. So may as well check crystal dungeons while you're moving through it. Then after that, honestly, yeah, probably Hera. That way you can check all the Death Mountain locations too. First of all, going to check this Mire location, which is understandable. It's kind of near where he got the Mire, so might as well.
Yeah, and this is another one of those locations that has developed a reputation for trolling runners if it's one of those seeds.
Mm-hmm. Me being one of those, so that's how I lost one of my Swiss match rounds. Okay, and Ben is actually checking out Death Mountain first. I do kind of understand this, just because there are a lot of locations up here on Death Mountain to check as well. So after he finishes up here, he can just go check East Death Mountain, then Dark Death Mountain, and hopefully by that point he can draw out the hook shot. And once he gets that hook shot, at that point, I think we could say go mode, because he is not going to need those flippers to finish the seed.
Absolutely not. And it's weird to say that, you know, we can do it flipperless, but yeah, Ben is right there. He's only, as soon as he gets the hook shot, he's ready to go.
Yeah, Chad actually mentioned that Ben does know how to hover, but it is not a strat that he likes using, so he will probably look for that hook shot to stay within logic. And yeah, hookshot can be in Ganon's tower too. That's a very, very good possibility. Unless it blocks, like you need hookshot to get... actually, I don't think that'll be a case, but if you need like flippers to get to the hookshot, then maybe it won't be in Ganon's tower, but like it could be at this point.
And someone asked in chat, is hovering require, or is hovering a major glitch? No, hovering is not. It is considered a minor glitch. It's so rare that it's useful that, you know, it's perfectly fine to use it. There are some instances where I certainly wouldn't recommend it. For example, hovering in the hookshot cave is just kind of a waste of time. But, you know, it's allowed. So if you want to, go for it.
Yeah, this would actually be a good time to mention that as far as those minor glitches we keep talking about, yes, they can be done in these tournament races. Perfectly legal to do, no problems. But they are all cases where you'll never have to use them to actually progress through the seed. They were doing the no glitches format, or no minor glitches format, or whatever it's called. So which means those glitches, you never have to actually know how to do them in order to progress in these seeds. They're just something you can do to take little shortcuts here and there, little sequence breaks as it were, but they'll never actually be required in any seed to actually do.
And Ben, finishing off Moldorm, gets his second item from it, so he will not have to check the basement. It's definitely good news there for Ben. Meanwhile, JSR is on his way up, so they're going to high-five outside here.
Chad actually made a good point earlier. I'm almost wondering if this is actually the case. I think maybe JSR knows where the bow is at this point, and maybe he's just taking care of all this other stuff, so when he does, he can just go to that location, get it, and then finish up the rest of the dungeons he needs. Because we know that the bow is that step in between getting the Ether Medallion from the boots.
I mean, that's a possibility, and there's hookshot.
There's the hookshot.
So Ben is not in official go mode, but for all intents and purposes, go mode.
Yeah, at this point, I'd say he's definitely in go mode. He knows how to do fake flippers. We saw him do it earlier, and he's going to do that right here. So, yeah, he is officially in go mode at this point. Just needs to finish this last dungeon, make the climb of Death Mountain, and go through Ganon's Tower, and he will be finished with this seed in a really, really good time. I think this will definitely be a sub 130 seed at this point.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Don't forget, he does have Desert Palace. We always forget Desert.
Yeah, that's true. It's a fairly short dungeon though, so shouldn't take a lot of time.
No, we won't see. I mean, Ben will be able to go mode. Ice Palace, he'll be able to go mode. You know, as soon as he gets the big key in Desert Palace, he'll go right up there. So we're getting to see maximum Ben speed mode right now. JSR has already beaten Ice Palace. But man, he's behind. He doesn't have Eastern. He doesn't have Pod. He doesn't have. I mean, he's beaten Skullwoods, but just so many dungeons that JSR has not done. And then icing on the cake, Troll Dorm.
Ooh, and he takes another fall too. Moldorm is not very happy on JSR's side.
Yep, we see Ben doing the beginner's bomb jump, the bomb jump that everyone learns to learn bomb jumps.
Yeah, that is definitely, I think, a good bomb jump to learn as your first one, just because it dramatically speeds up the process of going through Ice Palace. Literally, you don't have to do that whole switch puzzle, which just makes you wrap around the entire dungeon in a very weird and awkward way. It just skips all of that, allows you to go straight to the boss, which is what Ben is doing right now, so it's just a very, very fast clear for such an annoying dungeon.
Absolutely. So Ben's, yeah, he's on his way. He's getting ready to drop down right now. Doesn't have to worry about any of the other treasure chests. JSR is, as soon as he gets that hook shot, he will also be in kind of a similar go mode situation. If he does, in fact, know where the bow is.
Yeah.
I don't think he does because he's still checking locations.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, there is... I'm wondering if he's almost thinking that because he was able to get the Ether Medallion out of Pod, that maybe he is still within logic. So, there, like what I said earlier, definitely just, you know, it's a possibility. He might know where the bow is. Depending on what happens after he gets the hook shot, we'll know for sure whether or not he knows it's there or not.
And, yeah, did you blink and miss the fight there that Ben had?
Yeah. Yeah. It's gone. Colt's there gone.
Yep. Bow is making quite a bit of difference. I don't think JSR knows where it's at.
Yeah, at this point, since he is checking other locations, yeah, he just forgot to check Kingston at this point.
Shout out to Raging Reynolds. He didn't even have time to stare at the stare.
Good
I
one,
love the puns.
Good one. Nicely done, chat. Nicely done. Maybe Colster was too busy staring at Ben's natural state that he just couldn't be focused on fighting.
Groan. My goodness. So we see the big key. Ben's done. Mirroring it out.
Yeah. No need to check any more chests in here. Let's go straight for the end.
Do you imagine that Ben might check a few of the easy chests, or is he just hoping for a sword upgrade in Ganon's Tower to make that Ganon fight just a little bit easier?
I think that is a good point. I think a person at Ben's skill level, like, he's probably not going to go out of his way to check chests, but maybe a few on the way if he's like right next to a chest. Yeah, he might check it, and then. Of course, we still have Ganon's Tower to go through, so there'll be plenty of chess possibilities there, too. And JSR, unfortunately, entering Turtle Rock, we know nothing is going to be in here that he needs, so this is very unfortunate.
I'm going to do to perform the sound that all of us are thinking right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's the fail sound.
That's right. We could find the flippers in Turtle Rock, like that scenario I mentioned earlier. But one thing we do need to get started with is the 7th crystal for ajneb174, which means we are about to go inside Ganon's Tower, and we have a little game we like to play on the Speed Gaming channels whenever this is about to happen. Do you want to go ahead and explain it, Vitasia?
Absolutely. There are 22 treasure chests in Ganon's Tower. One of them will have the big key required to start the ascent into Ganon's Tower. Get your guesses in 1 through 22. If you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming channels or have donated 250 bits aggregate to all the channels, you don't have to do just to one channel, you will be entered into a contest to see who has the closest guess, 1 through 22, for the Ganon's Tower big key. Slim Kirby, where do you think it's going to be, sir?
Well, I wanted to guess 8 in the chat because 8 is my go-to number. It's the number I always like guessing for these. Unfortunately, I had to put 18, but you know, for the commentary's sake, I'm going to go ahead and say 8 anyway.
Yeah, I did not get my guess in time, so I'm not even worried about participating, but I'm going to guess, sure, we're going to guess chest number 3. So we see Ben checking a couple treasure chests on his way up because they're there, and of course he gets tempered. Meanwhile, JSR pulls the ice rod while he's climbing, going through Turtle Rock. Feels bad, man.
But yeah, that tempered sword, very, very nice to get. I mean, it's like, there's definitely a bigger difference between fighter sword to master sword, but when I have tempered sword and when I have silvers, like, I am not worried at all about the Ganon fight at the very end. That's where I feel the most comfortable. Gold sword's nice, but at this point, like, I'm not even going to go out and look for any other swords.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. So Ben is going to go through here, check the first couple treasure chests. Ben's in the lead, and this is, there's a unit of measurement I've seen some people use called Ganon Falls. It measures the amount of time that JSR2Gamers would need in order to catch up to Ben, and we're easily in the 20 plus Ganon Falls territory, if not higher, before JSR would catch up, and Ben just, I don't think that'll happen for Ben, so, oh man, this is not good for JSR.
Yeah, the more locations he checks at this point, like, I mean, he's not in the right direction at all looking for this bow, so the more locations he checks, the further it's going to put him out of reach. If he finds the flippers, that may even push him into Swamp Palace for all we know, which would waste even more time, so yeah, that number is just gonna, that unit of measurement, as you said, is just gonna keep on getting bigger until he goes to that King's Tomb.
Chat's ribbing me a little bit for my advantage speech earlier. I get it. I hear you guys. My goodness. So, Ben working his way through. We'll see. What treasure are we on by now?
We didn't get a key from the first chest, so, or the first 2 chests, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this is 9.
Okay. Hey, Alucard, thank you so much. Unlocking all the gifts for everyone. You're an amazing human being, Alucard.
$13 chests and still no big key. We did get a bottle of potion, though, which, you know, Ben's probably not going to need it, but always nice to have just in case he gets into a sticky situation.
All right, so we're on our way up to Bob's chest. And Bob lives because there was the red boomerang on the torch. So Bob is here. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Have fun in suspended animation, Bob.
Thought I saw Bob in chat earlier.
So if you like the Silver Arrow Armos fight earlier, you get to see it again on ice this time.
That feels like it'd be a great date night.
Yeah.
Silver's Armos on ice.
On ice. Coming soon to a rando station. So we only have 5 locations left to check in the Ganon's Tower Big Key game. Just the 4 in the Compass Room, and then the 1 in Tile Room.
JSR is going to be sorely disappointed with this particular Try Next fight, unless he thinks, for whatever reason, that Bo is on the pedestal. He has the book now, so he can go check if he wants to.
I think that was number 18. 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 18.
18 wins. Although, yeah, okay, so Ben's death warping out?
Congratulations, Vigil18, for being the closest, or he got the correct answer, but the first one to actually guess that. So congratulations, you have been added to the leaderboard.
Congratulations to you. So we'll see Ben climbing this gauntlet. Meanwhile, JSR gets his, that's his first pendant, isn't it? Because he didn't actually beat Thieves Town.
Oh yeah, that's right, he did not. He only checked those, oh well, no, he checked everything, he just didn't put blind bet, that's right.
A shout out to Asura's Revenge. With all that cheer, unlocking more gifts for us in chat. You're awesome.
This is the best randomizer Christmas ever.
Oh, now I feel like I have to write a Christmas song and sing. No, I don't.
Yeah, we'll just have Alucard do it.
Yeah, I hear chat loves that, Alucard.
Okay, so I did see a few questions about this in chat. No, this is the only game that's going to be done from this semifinal matchup for today, and the only rando race that is going to be for the tournament today, I believe, for the main tournament anyway. Both semifinal matchups will continue tomorrow. Game 3 of Cransoon versus Amazing Ampharos will be tomorrow, and then the remaining possible 2 games of this set, unless Ajneb wins both of the first 2 games, will be done tomorrow as well. So there will be no more games today for this matchup, but the remaining 2, if needed, will be tomorrow.
There, of course, if you like Rando, keep in mind we do have our daily races that are going to happen as well at 8. I think the first one has already happened today, but we still have the 8 o'clock and the 11 o'clock that will be on. So if you're new to this, boot it up, give it a shot. The link is available in commentary or in the chat channel. Come on, just join us. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, people from all skill levels can participate. So even if you're doing it for your first one, it's a good way to kind of still interact with the community. And, you know, even if it's never a bad thing if, like, your run takes a long time to finish. Everyone has their first randomizer runs take a long time because they're just not used to it when they first start out. So it's a great way to participate and then just kind of get more experience as you get along, and then, of course, spend time with a lot of amazing people.
Absolutely. So JSR and Desert Palace will full clear it, I wager, because JSR unfortunately does not know where the bow is. So we'll see Ben get ready for his Aga 2 fight here after this wonderful Hellway.
Yeah, and one thing I gotta say really quick is just that what's happening to JSR right now, it's something that happens to all runners regardless of skill level. Sometimes there's just one rando run that you'll do where you just completely disregard or forget a location. Just because you've checked so many locations, it often meshes with many other races you've done. So this could be just one of those cases where you just, forgot about King's Tomb. So it happens. It happens to the best of all the runners in this tournament, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the very best, everyone has always, you'll forget something. That's why a lot of runners will refuse to do races back-to-back because it crosses the streams there. So it's very common for someone to just forget something like that. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's happened to the very best of us.
Definitely. And yep, Ajneb getting ready for his Ganon fight here. Asking the important things that we need to know about life. Why is there a light in the fridge?
You laugh, but man, I just replaced my light in the fridge, or my girlfriend did, and I'm like, oh wow, that's why we need a light in the fridge.
Yeah.
So already on to this next phase for the Ganon fight. This is where the Ganon falls happen, and I don't anticipate there being too many of them unless Ben might swag it out and just do Silverless.
Gotta say really quick, that Lomno fight for JSR was incredible. Really, really fast.
Absolutely, but in the meantime, that's the game.
That is. ajneb174 takes game 1 of this semifinal matchup, going into game 2 with a 1-game advantage, and he will be finishing his race with an SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 28 seconds.
And we're going to try to get Ben in here for an interview afterwards.
Yeah, just going to give him a little time to catch his breath, kind of let the nerves of the race kind of wash over him as he gets ready for the interview. So he'll be here in just a few minutes, and we'll hear his side of the story on how this race went. Meanwhile, JSR bombing the desert ledge.
Yeah, JSR has been notified of the completion and went ahead and did do the dot forfeit. Wants to save all the energy for the next race tomorrow.
And sometimes that just kind of helps. Like, it's like you accept that you've, lost the race, get your mind clear, and just get ready for the next one. That's all you can do in a scenario like this. And, at this point, with just one item kind of trolling you, I can definitely understand that. So.
Absolutely. Well, okay, it looks like JSR is ready. Welcome, GG JSR. How you feeling? Unless I grabbed you too early and you're not ready for me yet.
There. I'm ready now.
There you are. Oh, how you feeling after that run?
That seed just had it out for me. There was literally no way I could have won this race because that seed just, the way it progressed, I was clueless the entire run.
And GG Ben as he enters. Congratulations, sir.
GG.
Hey, thank you, GG.
So, JSR, I'm going to tell you what you missed, and you're going to be kicking yourself. I know you are.
Probably.
Bo was in King's Tomb.
Ah. I thought about going to King's Tomb after I found the boots, of course. I was already thinking at that point, because Catfish is a place I absolutely can't stand, that I was already kind of I was pressing, and it was not even a place I thought about checking.
Yeah, it was actually kind of an interesting scenario, because both of you went into Palace of Darkness for your initial runs around the same time. JSR managed to get a little further into the dungeon and found the Ether Medallion in one of the back rooms. So I was almost wondering if maybe that was kind of like playing with your mind a little bit. That was like, okay, well, I have the boots. Maybe Mire's next on the progression, which in a way it kind of was. But yeah, there was the bow that the boots unlocked as well, and then just kind of just kind of that one location when you check Bonk Rocks, you went up for the lumberjack check, and then after that just kind of let that one location just kind of seep out of your memory, I guess. Yeah,
and then I decided at that point to gamble dungeons because I wasn't finding squat in the overworld, and the full clear of Turtle Rock, having missed the bomb jump at Ice Palace, having to go back in because I was pretty convinced that Ice had the progression, and I think Ether was in Ice Palace, right? I can't recall for sure.
No, Ether was in Pod.
That's right. That's right. I don't think there was anything of value in Ice, was there? Other than Tempered. I can't even remember what was in Ice. My head is spinning so bad because I'm like so
I have
salty.
No idea. I go-mode it, so I have no idea what's there.
But yeah, that was just a seed that the way it progressed and the way I went about it, I had no chance. And
Yeah.
I'll just have to bounce back and try harder, and hopefully game 2 is a little closer. But congrats, Ben, and GG, man.
Thank you.
Did you have any thoughts about this seed, Ben? I haven't really heard from you yet, necessarily.
It's the kind of seed I don't really like. It's fairly linear. Not much decision to do. I guess all the decision I tried to take was bad because it was going into dungeon. I should have finished Chief Stone the first time, which would have been kind of really nice, but it's kind of hard to go all the way there without the ammo. So yeah, I mean, it was not that much decision to do. No TR, no swamp is really good, so you don't really need a lot of items. And yeah, never touching those is pretty amazing.
Yeah, really, and especially with that progression on Catfish as well. I know you're definitely one of the, I guess, veteran runners that does kind of try to prioritize that Catfish check whenever you can, because sure enough, and in this seed, it did have that progression you needed to.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do Pyramid and maybe Catfish. I wasn't sure at the time, but here, since I had not that much location to check, I had to do it, so I did it. But yeah, kind of sad that I didn't do it before the pod, but that also, yeah, I know that JSR doesn't like that location, so when I saw it I was happy. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
I suppose I didn't put off Catfish too long. I don't think that bit me in the bum as much as it could have, but yeah, I mean, if there's an item of value at Catfish with the way that the seed progressed, I mean, maybe I need to start making that more of a priority, because that's bit me in the butt a couple of times. But every time I route it in, every single time I route it in, I get the green rupee or something silly like that. So
I know the feeling, yeah. I guess the bad thing was really not going for King's Tomb after. Like, I went right away. So yeah, I got the bow straight, and I did pod Eastern, and I did Mire. Then it was each time one item, and then yeah, getting the hook was really nice. Like, checking one location on East DM and getting the hook was really nice, because I had a little bit on my mind trying to over, but I didn't do that in a really long time, so I don't think I would have done it.
Okay, on nice bow acquisition, JSR. Just saw that you picked that up on your stream just now. Nice hammering of the chest as well.
Yeah,
that chest got everything I had, man.
that was kind of it. I mean, you guys were relatively close, and at times seemed to be bouncing back and forth just with some other gambles. But yeah, as soon as I think what really kind of made the difference, he had bow, and he went into Mire with the bow, so that just made Vitreous, a cakewalk compared to what you had to go through with the dash strats. So, I mean, still, GG JSR had a real solid run. Ben takes the first win. Now, keep in mind, everyone, the rematch, the grudge match tomorrow. We have JSR versus Ben tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, right here on Speed Gaming. Followed directly. If there does need to be a game 3, it will be immediately after. And then, of course, tomorrow evening at 10 o'clock Eastern, Cransoon versus AA. It's going to be a game 3. There's just so much major action going on. Not to mention, we also have the secondary tournament that's going to be tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. We have the championship, I believe. Is it Dude versus Aaron Dobby? Is that the championship there?
Isn't it Zertnal?
Okay, Zertnal. Okay, so that's the silver matches. Dude versus Aaron Dobby at 4 o'clock Eastern. That'll be on ALTTPR Randomizer 1. But then the primary matches, for the finals, we'll know tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, again, despite the whole bow thing, this was looking to be a really, really, really close matchup before then. And if anything, I think that JSR even had the hammer before Ben got the hammer, so it had that kind of that full Dark World access before. But again, just one item, that one item can sometimes just be the determining factor in these races. But tomorrow could be telling a whole different story. You really never know, and I wish both of you the best of luck, and should be another very entertaining race for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, you guys. And for the commentary, the restream, everyone behind the scenes, Ben for the race, and I look forward to the rematch tomorrow, sir. Best of luck.
Yeah, same.
All right, that is JSR2Gamers and ajneb174. If you guys have not yet followed them on Twitch, give them a shout out and a follow here if you can. Of course, there's also the behind the scenes guys, Feasel with the restream, Dude with the tracking, and of course my wonderful co-host Slim Kirby. It's always a pleasure being with you, Slim.
Oh, hey, same to you. I always love commentating with you. It's always a lot of fun. Always very interesting things seem to happen in these seats whenever we commentate. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this as well. It was a lot of fun. And again, thanks to everyone in the chat for making this match what it is too. One of the things I like to try to say is that, it's not just the runners, it's not just the commentators, it's not just all the people behind the scenes. It's also the people coming here to watch all these matches. It makes them really exciting, really fun to watch everything and interact with the entire community. It's been an absolute blast to just see this tournament from its very beginning stages to now. And yeah, with just the most important matches coming up, it's sure going to be a blast to just see this through the end. So thanks to everyone. This has been amazing. This has been awesome. And yeah, I'm personally signing out. I'll see you guys later.
Yep, have a good one, everyone.